Hi everyone, this is Menz here. I'm on 0.5.3 public test server. I'm going to be playing Amagi here, trying to get to the Zumo since I am trying to show off the new manual secondary captain skill, which is tier 5 skill. I do have it equipped on here. I know that the Nagato has a little bit better secondaries than Amagi here. However, trying to get the Zumo, so grinding the Amagi's a little bit more sensible. I have a captain set up to where I have all the secondary boosts for captain skills. I have all the modifications for the secondaries, and I have every single signal flag that would also help with secondaries here. Why don't I try to push down possibly near D. That might be my best bet to get a one-on-one or something against somebody. Now, with all that saying, the Amagi, my secondaries, 6.8 kilometer range on them. Now, a little less than a Nagato would be, but still not too bad, fully kitted out here. Now, accuracy for the manual captain skill is a 60% boost, excuse me, right? And essentially the boost from tier 7 to 10 is 60%, below that only 15%. Now you have to manually click for your secondaries to actually attack somebody. That's really a positive and a negative depending on if it's you or the enemy. By manually clicking on someone, you're going to get that accuracy boost and tear them to shreds depending on what ship you're in. Negative is that the other side of your ship, unless they basically spin around to the other side of your ship, you are not going to be firing on any other ships other than the one that you click on. So if you're surrounded, you're really hampering the amount of damage you're going to be outputting. Now, really, if you're surrounded by ships more often than not like that, you're going to end up dying. But is it a little bit of a drawback? Yes, but it just, again, it depends on the scenario and the circumstance you're in. But still remains to be seen how much of a negative it is, but really it depends on the specific circumstance. Now, since this is the public test server, I'm just trying to push into somebody and use my secondaries. Hopefully I don't run into a nasty destroyer and they torpedo the hell out of me, or aircraft carrier. We'll see about that, but right now I'm just trying to get as close as I can to an enemy and get them within my secondary range so I can use the skill. Now, things like the Zumo, Yamato, the Warspite, and the Mikasa, they're greatly going to benefit from this skill, especially the Zumo and Yamato. And the Yamato is actually getting nerfed in the upcoming 5.3 update. Its repair party skill is being reduced by 33% to bring it in line with every other battleship, which is great. Now, for high-tier American battleships, I think the Iowa and Montana, depending on what captain skills and modifications you want to put on it, it will probably also, or they will also benefit from this. Not as much as, say, the Izumo and Yamato, but it'll still be enough since they have pretty good secondaries as well. Now, this Megami has torpedoes. I gotta be a little careful, but I'm just trying to get within range of him and see what happens. With where he was pushing, he should... Yep. There we go, he's within range. As you see, pretty good grouping on the secondaries here. As you see, almost all of them hit. I would say over 50% right there. He fired some torpedoes off. Someone's at the door, so I'll be right back. Okay. And I'm back. Gotta love that, excuse me there. But gotta love being able to automatically sail if you have someone calling you, or in my case, at the door. Fortunately, my dog, he likes to chew things apart that come in the mail. In any event, though, back to trying to use these secondaries. So I'm just gonna dive right on in there. This New Mexico. See, looks like he's actually turning. Sorry, Mr. Hipper. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get it, but I'm just trying to push right in here. In any event, though, against that cruiser, since I kind of had to bail out there at the end, the secondary accuracy looked pretty damn good to me. Like, they were landing almost directly on target. Granted, he was sailing broadside against me. For some reason, he didn't turn into or away from me as soon. But the boost, if you're running full modifications and captain skills for secondary accuracy and range, to me, the accuracy, it feels to be about 50%. Remains to be seen at the end of this battle, but from what I've seen, it's a huge boost to where it does make it worthwhile to actually use these skills. So, looks like this or not New Orleans, the North Carolina I'm going to be trying to get here. Never mind, he's popping over here, so I keep my guns pointing on this side. Whoops, I actually did not want to use that, but my bad. So I got my secondaries tied on North Carolina here. He's probably got the skill too, but we'll see how this works out. Just going all in here. Come to think of it, why don't I focus on him? Although North Carolina's probably going to pop me here. Yep, that's going to hurt. Amagi doesn't have very good armor. He's actually got less HP now. As you see, Secondaries stopped aiming. We won there. Wish I hadn't had to take a little break there, or else I would have been able to do a little bit more. But, okay. Whatever that reward is. In any event, though, it's just what this video is about. Now, Secondaries here. As you can see, main battery damage, 38,000. Not really that much. Now, for Secondaries, I ended up firing 196 shots. And I hit, whoops, it's kind of tallying up here, figuring out the percentage wise. I hit 77 of them, so if you take that, it'll be about 39% accuracy, which, as you see, it mainly fired AP. Depending on what ship you're against and also the battleship you're driving, some Secondaries end up shooting more HE or AP, but in this event, basically a 40% accuracy, which not that bad. I thought it was a little bit more around 50, but 40% compared to 20% that you usually see on most battleships, or even a little bit lower. 20% is really the high end that I see on a semi-regular basis. It's a pretty big boost to what you're used to, and it is a viable loadout depending on the battleships. Now, why don't I pop something real quick? I had a really bad match before this in Nagato, but I wasn't running modifications for it. I actually did the best of my team somehow. I wasn't running modifications for the Nagato here. However, tallying this up here, accuracy wise, it's only about 25%, but like I said, I wasn't running a full, this is still the run a full modification setup. I forgot to pop that on my Nagato there, so that even boosts the accuracy a little bit more. So overall, the captain skill, it's pretty interesting to say the least. As you see, negative 60% to maximum dispersion, so really it doesn't say you're gonna hit that much more, it's just saying the dispersion circle's that much smaller, which, as far as how much of a boost that is, it really depends ship to ship, since it does not show you in the stats here, at least in the game. I'm sure some other websites and pulling the data out, you'll be able to find the accuracy of each secondary, but really it's not like the main battery where it shows you maximum dispersion. But in any event, it's a pretty interesting captain skill. I think it's well worth it on certain ships. Definitely the Nagato up, it's worth it for the Japanese, and then which you can't buy it, so it's not in the tech tree. But other for US ships, the Montana and the Iowa, it might be worth it. But if you pop down to the lower tiers, they have some decent secondaries on them. But if you look at the Montana here, it's nothing compared to a Yamato. But really, all in all, with it, it could be a pretty interesting fit for the Montana. But honestly, I would rather have the concealment or potentially preventative maintenance there. So still an even jack of all trades, but remains to be seen how great it's going to be on the live server, since this was really, I was just pushing as hard as I can into a ship and seeing what happens. But it's definitely going to benefit some more ships than others. But all in all, I think it's a pretty well balanced skill, and hopefully 5.3 captain skills are going to be great. I still think they need to buff survivability expert, but still interesting skills nonetheless. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe here on YouTube if you have not already. You can support me in the upper right hand corner on all my YouTube videos for fan funding. Otherwise, check out my website, menzgaming.com/World of Warships, and also watguru.com. Thanks for watching again.